just want to reiterate, you're all invited on Friday night, Dr. Sharon coming to a mental health conversation in our library, and we would love to hear, especially from Catherine Barger and Sheila too, because they both are leaders in the field. But everybody's welcome, just to be clear, and of course it is their district. But at this park, there was Prop K, 1996, money earmarked. Supervisor Solis is the leader on Parks and Rec at the county. But in the city, we had a small project to fix up the gymnasium. And they got it under their nose that they wanted to make it very green project. So they were going for something like platinum, which I believe Mr. Estrela's around. This is a very fancy project, because to make something that green, it costs money. So the budget was only $3 million earmarked. Now it's jumped up to $16 million. And we can't see exactly where that money is coming from. But I guess here's the question. How can we provide an award for somebody who's willing to hold back on what appears to be a very green construction project, but in fact, when you understand what we're doing here, leaving a beautiful field with trees as a field is a better, greener project than building even the greenest of buildings. And I know it's hard because the city of LA, did a little evaluation and wants to decide where to put some of their muscle. And obviously, Studio City is lovely, and we love, the city's amenities, those that are functioning properly, which we litigate later. But most of them are okay. The park is great. We just don't understand how this is green to build a huge structure on an open field. Now, I know that we've got little camps in our neighborhood, so people will say, it is green, or, oh, that's a great idea to put a parking structure on the hillside. It's not. And so we know that. We just need some leadership from our county supervisors. And I'm hoping that somebody will help shine some light on that. I know it sounds like it's pie in the sky. We've got, the sheriff has several items on the agenda today, but I didn't see him today. Again, just to be fair, we're inviting him also to talk about mental health, because, he may want to come out and hear from the residents, because I know everybody is struggling to get home. So hopefully we can find a way to do that. I will say that $1 million a year for 5 years to buy mattresses with the H money sounds good, but when I looked at the competitive bidding, I thought, boy, that's a lot of mattresses, and did we get a good deal? Because only 3 people submitted their little bids. So I don't know, that does worry me. Marina Del Rey is upticking by only $200,000, but Marina Del Rey, as you know, I saw we had the lobbyists down here today. They really do a great job of the county of getting a lot. Now that I have 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Are you going to put me back to 2? Or is that 2?
That was great.
All right, well,
Thank you.
slow. Thank you.
One fast question. Next figure, please.
Good afternoon.
Oh, wait.
It doesn't matter. I've been waiting a while.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead?
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Virginia Anders Elmore. I'm a nurse practitioner. I've worked for the County of LA at Harvard UCLA for 29 years, and in general medicine, having various positions. I'm here on behalf of my fellow nurse practitioners in the LA County to speak in support of the sole source contract with Dennehy and Associates, as long as the LA nurse practitioner workforce is engaged throughout the whole process. You can find nurse practitioners in all of the health agencies and Department of Health Services, mental health, public health, and the sheriffs. We take care of the sickest patients of LA. It is true that patients that we had in the beginning when ACA came through, we had many patients that went to the private sector, and a lot of the very sickest patients came back to us, telling us that we were the only people that could take care of them. It is vital that we have every resource available to ensure that we can continue to give this vulnerable population the care that all people deserve. And we look forward to working with the experts to create a system that supports advanced practice nurses. But we really do feel that our participation in the creation of this system is of utmost importance. We want assurance that our expert voices are heard on our profession. We want assurance that frontline nurse practitioners will be chosen by our clinical leaders to represent us. We want assurances that there will be representative voices. That surely was not.
It was. Thank you. If you have more of your written testimony, you may turn it in and we'll read the rest of it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh,
I know
I
that.
timed myself before.
Yeah,
No.
thank you. I think we got the gist of what you were saying, but please feel free to turn in the rest of it. Thank you. I know you've been here a long time today. Next.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Dr. Geneviève Carroll, and on item 2D, I am very glad to see that we merge the Housing Authority Commission with the Development Commission. You should do the same thing for the Commission on HIV, the Commission on Hospitals, Mental Health, and Public Health. We're supposed to merge everything under, that wonderful Group Operation Health Agency, which is other thing. The minimum we could do is to merge those three commissions. That would save money, that would be more sharing of information, maybe, and maybe we know more what's going on. Also, I would like to know why those three commissions do not answer to the Department Commission. And nobody can tell me why or when it was done. That would be nice to know, because it doesn't make any sense to have the hospital commission who is supposed to oversee the health department to report to them and not to the public. The same with mental health, the same with public health. Where I come from, that won't make any sense. So think about it. That's a way to save some money. And on item 24, first of all, it's a sole vendor contract. And I can tell you that company doing it is not the expert. Actually, on nurse practitioner and nursing design, I am pretty knowledgeable, and I can tell you they are not the were expert. But I agree, the nurse practitioner should be involved in that design, because that's part of the problem. A lot of the study we have, nobody's involved. And we have some grading who are awful. Look at the new report I will send you, where we have the figure for 2014, then 2016 and 2018, oh, we don't have figure. We have a little sign, up or down. But that don't mean anything, because it could be 1%, 1% more, or 80%. That's a joke to accept for the department head to be given that kind of statistic is pretty bad. And remember, on every Tuesday, you can fire people who are on contract everywhere. And somebody who do not perform, like what we are seeing every week, take it into consideration. Thank you.
Okay. And maybe instead of merging those commissions, might be an interesting idea that they might have a joint commission meeting at one point. That might be interesting too, so they can share information. I suggest that. Merci beaucoup. Next speaker, please.
Daniel Bright, 467 Crane Boulevard, Mount Washington. I rise today in support of Supervisor Solis's motion on the Southwest Museum. A vision for the Southwest has been a hot political topic. Supervisor Hahn no doubt remembers the Southwest Museum drew a mass of letters of support of people at LA City Hall. At that meeting, constituent demands that the Opry live up to restoring and continuing to program the Southwest Museum site were heard. The Opry board angrily yelled at city officials, a display of the petulance of an out-of-touch board members who thought their contributions could override overwhelming public outcry. The Opry ran away from Los Angeles and the fiduciary duties it owes to these charitable assets, including donor restrictions. To continue its request to sever the Southwest collection from its iconic Los Angeles site, Opry acquired a bankrupt Burbank warehouse where it has sealed away the Southwest collection. The Burbank site is a monument to the Opry's evasion of accountability for the fiduciary duties it assumed when it paid $0 to to take over the Southwest in a 2003 merger. In order to get its hands on the Southwest, Audrey made what our expert concluded were material misrepresentations that it had a $100 million cash endowment, when in reality, on the day of the merger, it only had $2.5 million. The Audrey took the Southwest's $5 billion cash endowment. The Audrey took the $1 billion collection. The Audrey quickly discarded the Southwest as a museum institution. This was Audrey's big merger fib coming home to roost. And that's what's happening today with the request for interest. Audrey has no significant endowment except what it took from the Southwest. The county needs to get up to speed on many important legal issues here as it considers this a proposal. Let's make it a win, but let's do it with our eyes wide open. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3. Doug Liss, our Professional Helicopter Pilots Association. I emphatically support our beloved and highly gifted and skillfully hardcore aviation buffs who are dedicated to public safety from the skies. They are the eyes and ears and super dupers who possess objective instincts to assist law enforcement on the ground to capture the criminal felons. You want safety, then don't complain. Helicopter noise derives from some of the highly dangerous, delicate maneuvers and conditions while they are flying, such as poor visibility, dangerous terrain, other torrential and unfavorable weather conditions, low fuel, bird flocks, illegal drones, pointed lasers, dodging other aircraft in their altitude, for such as media pilots, paparazzi, CHP, fire department pilots, etc. God bless them too. High-tension wires. Remember too, all these highly dedicated and highly disciplined pilots must know federal air regulations and law enforcement air regulations, IFR, and etc. They have to talk and coordinate while pursuing criminals from the air who are on foot and by car, and still be able to relay to multiple ground patrols in detail what their visuals are from the air. It is highly stressful to be a pilot and or military aviator. So if you want to complain, please complain about the goddamn violent, chango, Latino, ugly, filthy, noisy gangbangers, and the wicked criminal assholes beating on the women and yelling and screaming, and also the high-speed street racing cars, Latino, chango, reckless drivers, and all the motorcycle gangs who are against speeding on the streets, and the loud booming boom rap music that goes on night and day. Why don't you complain about that? And the construction work that goes on day and night, and the skateboarders who are jumping up and down all around. Complain about that and stop complaining.
Next speaker, please.
Wonderful.
George was a point. He said, you ain't gonna have enough money to pay this rent after they have to pay me for my violations. And the 1.2 million illegal prosecutions you fools have allowed. Gee, that's interesting as hell. Never give 24, especially to Dr. Sharon and his idiots. By the way, Dr. Sharon's gonna lose his license, and those people got some real problems, see? Because all of you got real problems too. Are you familiar with 3PC 368 elder abuse? This board officially are the ones that put me in the state mental hospital. That's 4 years, people. Then when you force me on the drugs at 70, with bullshit reasons, it's another 4 years. And because you attempted to assassinate me, those 8 years get added on to the attempted assassination. I want you to take a look at this. This is my body from the drugs you gave me in there. I had 2 hours sleep last night from the pain of the drugs you gave me in there last July. You think it's funny? You want to live my life? Where the fuck are my exculpatory evidence, Janice on? Because next week I am playing the phone call to your fucking office to the DA. 5 years, no exculpatory evidence. From the state mental hospital,
In my hand is our budget. In my
Wanna eat that
hand,
life with me?
budget will not satisfy
Kept up all night?
homelessness. It will not satisfy
You fucking people.
control. It will not satisfy the stabilization of what's happening in California. Because we have H.R. 6 bill by Roy Ball Allard. You guys know Roy Ball Allard? She hasn't done shit for you. That's who Roy Ball Allard is. Do you know who she is? Roy Ball Allard. Father was a Marine, came from Mexico, did a great job. Then his dumb daughter comes into the picture and fucks up our plans. Now we're all homeless, now we're all living in poverty, and no one can pay the rent. So, this is our budget, and 42 U.S.C. 1983, Ms. Wickham, fuck the law.
Okay, that concludes the speakers that signed up on the items on the agenda. Madam Executive Officer, please indicate the agenda items on which we will be voting.
The items before you are items 2D, 1H, 2H, 1P, 3, 5, 9, 10, 12, 15, 19,
Almost, dude.
20, 24, 25, 27, 28,
When did you take a break,
30,
huh?
31, 32, 38, and 39.
Okay, those items are before us, moved by Supervisor Solis, seconded by Supervisor Barger. Without objection, that will be the order.
Also, Madam Chair, on item CS1, County Council requests that this item be continued 1 week to April 16,
Okay.
2019.
Okay, without objection. Now it's an opportunity for members of the public to address
General
the board
comment.
on items of interest that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Please call those speakers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The following individuals, please come forward and staff will assist you. Alexis Sanchez, Andrea Casillas, Antonia Ramirez, Cynthia Macias, Daniel Wright, Dennis Moore, Emily Andreo, Eric Previn, Francisco George, George Bazzetti, Herman, Iris Villalpando, Jesus Sanchez, Jose Martinez, Larry Layden, Linnea Escobar, Robert Green, Cindy Lopez, and Ezekiel Reyes. Please come forward.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, it's Eric Herman. Thank you for this to the third district. I wanted to talk a little bit, Ms. Wickham, about the city attorney situation. There's we all turn to the lawyers for the law, and at City Hall, the city attorney's office is awfully conflicted because he's elected, but it's a hard job. Let's just stipulate that right up front. But when we found out that lawyers who worked for Rights Bureau were also taking referral fees for cases that the city was litigating, there was a yucky feeling. And, then, while they were looking at that, and Mr. Stewart cleared himself, so that's far wrong, probably someone else will look as well, but he's completely confident that everything was terrific. We also found out that the Ethics Commissioner, Serena Oberstein, was on a city attorney ruling completely wrong and collecting about nationally. So I'm just losing confidence. I like Mike Fury, he's a good guy, but I'm losing confidence in the structure there. And I don't understand what we as county residents are supposed to do when we feel there's like this strange, almost like a cover-up. So hopefully someone will look at that.
Next speaker, please.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, what I am demanding is that we have sheriff's deputies patrol the Music Center Grand Park blocks 1, 2, 3, and 4, including the ramp that takes you from block 4 to block 3 as it's going up. We need help out there. We're being attacked, robbed, and beaten, and this is an everyday occurrence at this park. We especially need it at the female bathrooms in blocks 1 and block 4. Sheriff's deputies need to own up and protect the citizens when they are at play or resting or relaxing, or trying to anyway. And second of all, we want services out here, not in Skid Row. For those of us who don't want to commute all the way to Skid Row, we want laundry, we want the washroom facilities, we want everything out here that is out there at Skid Row. And third of all, I am a homeless individual who had a home. I am homeless by design. I am gang stalked everywhere I go. Bathrooms, sleeping where I get urinated on. I am attacked by the niggers and the wetbacks every single day of my life.
Next
Knock
speaker,
it off!
please.
Knock it off!
Next
Knock it
speaker.
off! Thank you, ma'am.
Next speaker.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Mireya Escobar. Soy miembro de la Organización de Padres Unidos.
Hold on a second. There seems to be a lot of noise coming from over there.
I'm out.
Oh, Supervisor Solis.
I'm out.
Okay. Supervisor Solis. Don't make me Okay. Go ahead.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Mireya Escobar. Soy miembro de la Organización de Padres Unidos de Pomona.
Good afternoon, my name is Mireya Escobar, and I am a member of the organization United Parents of Pomona.
En esta ocasión me sumo a la causa de los jóvenes de Pomona Student Union,
I'm here today on behalf of the young children of the Pomona Student Union,
porque yo como madre creo la necesidad de invertir recursos que ayuden a la formación de nuestros hijos de una manera física, recreativa y social.
As a mother, I see the need to invest in resources which help form the recreational, social, and physical attributes of our children.
En este caso me refiero específicamente a los parques de Pomona, los cuales no cuentan con luz por las tardes.
In this case, I am referencing or referring to certain parks in the city of Pomona as they operate without lights in the evenings.
Esto afecta directamente a los niños y a los jóvenes que están afiliados a la liga de soccer de esta ciudad.
This affects the kids who participate in the youth soccer league in the city of Pomona.
Cabe mencionar los beneficios que da a nuestros niños y jóvenes el integrarse a un deporte como son la responsabilidad, disciplina, constancia, salud física y salud emocional.
It's worth mentioning the benefits of participating in a sport such as discipline, responsibility, better physical and emotional health.
Por esta razón, les pido nuevamente que consideren en sus presupuestos invertir en los programas para jóvenes y escucharlos a ellos de realmente las necesidades que ellos tienen.
For this reason, I ask again to consider your proposal investing in programs for our youth and hear their pleas and their consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Honorable Board of Supervisors, my name is Larry Williams, and I'm from Encino, Fifth Court. I was arrested on a technicality, and in mental health court I was compelled to testify against myself. I tried to explain the technicality, but was cut off before I could modify my only sentence. I was cut off by an unidentified person, probably the public defender, thus creating an untrue statement. I argued for my right to speak, but the judge ruled against me. To make matters worse, this case was never discussed. The docket does not say matter is argued and submitted, the way it does on 7/28/16. Nothing more was said other than the judge's verdict against me. No witness testified against me, no witness to cross-examine. I was convicted without due process. Next, the court asked me if I waived my right to a speedy trial. A right to public defender should have preserved for me, but did not. I never met or talked to the public defender. After the matter was said to have been heard and complete, the judge appointed a lawyer to represent me for all purposes at my expense, fixing the court. Please see public dockets attached to this letter. One says argument is submitted, the other does not.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello, Supervisors and Supervisor Solis. My name is Sydney Lopez, and I am a student at the University of California, Riverside, and a lifelong Pomona resident. I am also a leader and an organizer from the Pomona Students Union, or PSU. The Pomona Students Union is a group of youth from Pomona who seek to address issues in our community and take action to improve them. So some of our campaigns include a youth diversion campaign, which focuses on pre-arrest diversion for youth convicted of a crime. So the reason we and my fellow PSU members are here is to talk about more funding for the city of Pomona, particularly more funding going towards Pomona youth. There are many important projects that would make a big impact on our community as a whole and on youth in particular. One of those projects would be renovating and further developing our parks. I can recall growing up in Pomona, not having my mom wanting me to go to the parks because they were typically very dirty, unsafe, and just all around not great to be in as a child. And I know that this hasn't changed in the time that I've been a child.
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon, Board of Supervisors and Supervisor Solis. My name is Alexis Sanchez. I attend Benicia High School in Pomona, and I'm a new representative of Pomona Students Union. I recently joined PSU when I decided to become more involved in my community. The organization in itself is a student-based organization that stands as a voice for the youth in our community. Today, I would like to speak to everyone on behalf of the PSU to see what could potentially be done for Pomona Public Library in relation to more county funding for Pomona youth. For many of our neighboring cities, such as Herman, Laverne, and Chino, they have well-established libraries with excellent funding in regards to after-school tutoring, book clubs, and arts and crafts for the adolescents of the community. For our Pomona Public Library, this isn't the case. As an avid volunteer of the library, I received a first-hand perspective on the overall condition of it and the little support that is given. As an avid volunteer of the library, I see the condition of these books that are checked by our youth, oftentimes for conditions having old and missing pages. Thank you.
Thank you for coming down and testifying. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon, Board of Supervisors and Supervisor Heather Feliz. My name is Emily Andrew, a youth of Pomona, a junior in Grade High School, and a proud member of the Social Action Group Pomona Students Union, part of the nonprofit Gente Organizada. I'm here on behalf of my group to ask and find ways for the county to invest in Pomona youth as well as to set platforms for a positive environment, allowing future leaders to grow. One example the county can help invest in Pomona youth is through youth diversion programs. Youth diversion programs can help reduce the amount of youth to enter traditional juvenile justice systems and instead provide them a healthy alternatives that will allow them to learn and find ways to change negative habits and behaviors and turn them into positive ones. Juvenile facilities are expensive and have poor physical outcomes. For instance, the cost per youth per year in LA County Juvenile Probation Time is estimated at $247,000, with a recidivism rate of 33%, according to the Juvenile Probation Outcome Study of 2017. Whereas community-based organizations partner up with police departments, making a program that is cost-effective and has also great of recidivism.
Thank you for your testimony. Next speaker, please.
Hello, Board of Supervisors and Supervisor Hilda Solis. I'm Iris Villalpando, a senior at Gary High and lifelong resident of Pomona for as long as I can remember. I'm here representing Pomona Students Union, and I'm also part of the PUSD Superintendent Student Advisory Council. Firstly, PSU is a group that promotes activism and social action. It exists to empower fellow Pomona youth and is entirely driven by us, the youth. I'm going to just skip that because I don't have a lot of time. Now, the reason I'm here is because there is a need in Pomona. Our youth are interested in a better Pomona, and a way to do that is through your investment. For some years, we've been trying to start up the Youth Commission in Pomona that would basically allow a group of elected youth to serve as a committee that has a platform to speak on issues that impact or involve Pomona youth. With the Youth Commission, not only are you immersing the individuals into their local politics, but the way things are run there, and it allows for their own leadership to develop. Our city is struggling to find funding for the Youth Commission, which is why I urgently implore the Board of Supervisors to invest within Pomona and its youth. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon, Board of Supervisors. My name is Amanda C.S. and I'm a senior at Diamond Ridge High School. I reside and I was born and raised in Pomona. I'm a part of PSU and we work on a lot of campaigns, and one of the most important campaigns right now is HYPE, which stands for Healthy Young People Evolving, and this focuses on the stigma surrounding mental health and how it's affecting young people. And on Sunday we are hosting a conference, the HYPE conference, and we're going to be like 100 youth, young people, so we're excited for that. The reason I'm here today is because we're asking for more money to be brought into the city, more importantly for the youth, because there are not a lot of safe spaces. Yeah. There are not a lot of safe spaces in the city, and with that, I hope that more youth can come to the city feeling safe.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello, Board. Supervisor Solis. My name is Jesus Sanchez. I'm the Director of Gente Organizada and a Pomona resident. I'm here to tell you a little bit about Pomona, but also a little bit of my backstory. So I actually grew up in Baldwin Park. I used to live very close to a park that was referred to as Central Park. I ended up working at the Teen Center and Skate Park for quite some time and years, and participated in after-school programs in Baldwin Park that really nurtured me as a young person and gave me a platform as a young adult to then work in my community. Those were thanks to efforts from you, Supervisor Solis. So I wanted to say thank you. And I'm here to ask you to do the same for the city of Pomona, my new home. We've been here since 9 in the morning. We started our track at 6:30, and we're committed. We're asking on your leadership to really put this together, so thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to all the students from Pomona who were here all day long. Thank you for coming all the way down and engaging in civic activity. Your decorum and behavior and articulate public comment was very much appreciated by us. And we're sorry you had to sit through some of that. Yeah.
Before they leave, I want to thank them. I had no idea they were coming down here to speak to the board, and they waited and they listened to many speakers, very diverse speakers, and I want to thank them for coming out and hopefully engaging with us more often and getting more young people engaged, just as you're demonstrating today. So congratulations, and we will be talking with you. My staff is coming to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brandenburg versus Ohio, US 395, 444, 1969. When do we get to bury those in the garden? When do we get to drag those to the garden and show them what America's all about? This is what the garden should look like. Let's take back America. What am I citing? What am I saying, Miss Wickham? Am I following the law? Do you follow the law? You let my Fuhrer and all his attorney take fees, and now you want to jeopardize my civil rights as a citizen of the United States. God bless America, and fuck you! No one denies us censorship in public meetings, for we are the voice of the public, and we shall make America great. First Amendment, 14th Amendment, and the right to defend ourselves.
Next speaker, please.
George Bazzetti, I think you should show some respect for our friend who comes here every week about his conservatorship, which was laid on him illegally, improperly, and when I get finished with your fucking mental health board, okay, and your corrupt judges, just go up to fraudbuster.org to Judge Harrison and listen to how he and Nami laugh about how they put family members in that shithole for forever. I was in court and watched Brad Lund. You know who he is? $200 million Disney family member. That the judge cut him off on TV, and the judge and my stupid lawyer, which is his lawyer, and the stupid illegally prosecuting DA laughed at this man. That's the guy with $200 million. So we got no problem doing that to this guy, and it's your job to stop them. Now what I'm giving you is what? Sober, I'll kick me out of the meeting. This is the real chief back letter, and all your public information requests that are years late. Now you're all going to prison. And it's not funny.
Next speaker.
Because it's not fun in there, fools. You're not going to do well.
Go ahead.
Coming in under constituent 2017, and I started fighting for my money, hit by a car, I don't like to say that now before I conservative, I don't have a social security number, like that, we tried to listen without a license, and I'm here because I'm trying to build it, I should have had a year once except to go to B96. I either want my money back or some kind of accounting from Mary Whitman or Jose Silva to update his and my money. This is not those big. First of all, check. This is my little thing that I earned. My money taken away from me for 2 years, $10,000 worth, pocketed it, paid Mary Whitman, Jose Silva, everybody else, and then when I go, I try to find out, can I get my money back? It's just like, you have to sue. If I sue somebody, I don't have 10 people, Mary Whitman just talk, or when they simply talk to me, I pay you and you talk to me? Forget the homeless people, stop judging them.
Hi, my name is Ezekiel Reyes. At this point in time, many should have come to the inevitable conclusion that that there are many kinds of accumulated reasonings as to why many people are homeless throughout LA. Mental illnesses, drug addictions, foster care, job loss, generational impoverishment, etc., all specific angles and reasonings as to why those particular groups of individuals find themselves homeless over time. Given that LA homelessness is not something that will be going away anytime soon, preventative measures will need to be put into place that specifically deal with the individuals that are homeless and without any kind of disability, or that do not do drugs, therefore are not drug addicts. A lot of the issues that I do hear nowadays are people pointing out for housing and jobs. Those things are definitely needed, but we must not forget the most basic need, that being food. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, now it's time for our adjournment. And